Okay, welcome back to another edition of First Gen Mini Rescue. I'm Jimmy, rescuing First Gen Minis, keeping them on the road. This car is finished. However, I got something for the people who tune in for Subaru. Now, what I decided was that I was gonna make an extra video just for Subaru. So it's not gonna interrupt my Wednesday mini series that comes out every Wednesday morning. But I'm thinking either Forester Fridays or Subaru Saturdays. I don't know, we'll think about it. But anyway, before I get to all of that, what I'm gonna be doing with the Subaru, I'm gonna read the fortune for today. Today's fortune is, suppose you can get what you want. Suppose you can get what you want. Well, I mean, I guess that's one way, like people dream all the time. If I won the lottery, fill in the blank, you know, whatever. I always look at it, that makes me think about, not just suppose you can get what you want, but how about reflecting on the great things that you already have? And that's the way I look at it. You know, I got family, I got good neighbors, I got good friends. You know, the lottery, winning that may complicate things, but at the same time, I do have something in the back of my mind if I ever play and win. But anyway, that's my take. Suppose you can get what you want. You know, what would be think about the consequences of that? I got a rock in my shoe. Anyway, I'm gonna move this car out the way because it's done. I did the exhaust on it. I added the rear shocks on the car. However, I've got to do the same rear shock job on the Subaru. And also from my my trip to the salvage yard, I have to add a new third brake light. So I'm gonna do the third brake light first because it's easy, quick and easy. And then I'll tackle the shock jobs or shock strut combo thing. Anyway, I'll be right back. Third brake light, obviously it's up here. When I went to the salvage yard, there were 8 vehicles to choose from, but a couple of them had the little extended wing back here, so those are not compatible. But I did find 2. I bought both of them. They were 25 bucks a piece. And the reason I need it is I'm gonna show you right here, there's a dent and our lens is cracked. Now I added some clear packing tape to help stop water from getting in it to hold me over. But I'm gonna bring you in and show you, maybe you can see the dent a little closer, but we were also getting a little leakage of water inside the car, and I'll show you the results of that too. So right here, there's a dent. You can kind of see the difference in the shadow there, but there's a dent right there where my finger is, and you can see the lens is cracked. So what we suspect from happening is a tree limb fell during one of the storms we've had, or whatever, and it just broke the light. So when you look inside, we have the little cover here, and you can see drips of water dripping down from somewhere. So if you can see that water stain right here. So yeah, I'm gonna get to fixing it. The only thing different with our car is on here, we have a reverse or a, what do you call it, a dash cam that looks out the back. So I'll just have to be careful with that when I pop this panel off. So that's the first step, popping the panel. Okay, I got our light out. Now, I don't remember, but ours was sealed in with some black silicone. I could have done that, or it could have been done when we hit a deer and they had some body work done, but it doesn't matter. It's out. I've got my new light. I'm gonna plug it in and yeah, get it installed. Now, this one has, the gaskets are very good on it, so they should seal. I just heard it click in place. So now we lift the hatch and we put the 8mm back. Typical on my thing, a 5-minute job turns into like a 20-minute job. Anyway, let's get it. I ended up removing the rear facing dash cam from its bracket so that it's not just hanging with all that extra weight. So 8mm back on. Okay, you tell me if it works. Okay, it works. Okay. That 5-minute job took me about a half an hour, but with video and everything, but being glued down was a little extra. But no problem, got it done, we're happy. I have my list of tools that I need to replace the shocks and strut assembly on this car. Right now it's about 2:30, that gives me 2.5 hours. I think I can get it done, so let me get cracking on that. Okay, I got the car safely on the jack stands. I push tested it, it's not gonna fall. Take the wheels off on both sides, and I gotta get everything out of the hatch from the floor because the top bolts for the struts are on the inside. Okay, I got all the loose panels that just come up without removing anything. The two side things here, these are styrofoam. They're held down with 2 push pins, one here, on both sides, of course. But you need to remove this one to get to the 2 bolts, the top strut mount bolts here. So I just got a pry tool and go underneath, pop it up. Same for this one. Pop it up. There they go. And so this is what they look like. They just pop up. And when you put them back, they go into these white receptacles here. And your 2 bolts are here for your top strut mount bolts. If you need access to the top spring cap bolt, which you shouldn't, it's underneath this plug right here. So I'm gonna do the other side and then I'm ready. Okay, the 2 bolts up top are 14mm. Now you can, you can use a swivel, or you can just kind of press in on the plastic and it'll give you enough room. And I'm just gonna leave those right there and I'll do the other side. On the back side, and take off the the nut here, and I'll do both sides. That was for the sway bar end link, the 14 millimeter. So our sway bar is disconnected. So, and with both wheels off the ground, there's no torsion pressure on it. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, these are 19s. Let's swap out the socket and knock that out. Wrench. And that was the shock itself, and this is the knuckle. Some people take off the control arm, interior control arm, and just take the whole thing down. I'll do it if I have to, but if I don't, then I won't. Do the other side too. Now, what I like to do is keep everything in order. This is the middle, this is the end. 14, 17. Okay, here we go. Good enough. So now let's get these bolts out. We might have to tap them, and might be some combo using the jack to jack it and all that. So we'll get to that now. Okay, to make things easier on myself, I went ahead and took the control arm off. It's also a 17, and so you just use your 17 wrench on the back and your impact. So I have it off. The control arm, she was sitting like this, obviously. Yeah. Oh, and here's my original 1,000 mile plus strut shock assembly. Okay, I got the shock strut assembly back on both cars, both sides. Let me explain a couple of things. One, it's easier to take all four through bolts off of the control arm and just drop the whole control arm, replace the shock. If you got a second person to help you, it's easier if you hold them up through the bottom and the second person puts the nuts on the top. If not, I used, for one of them, I used a ratchet strap. I just strapped it in place from underneath, came out, put the bolts on the top, or the nuts on the top, and then went back under, finished everything. I didn't tighten everything to spec. As far as the torque specs, I have them here. The top 14 millimeters are 22 foot-pounds. The strut bottom bolt, it's a 17 millimeter, that's 59 foot-pounds. The stabilizer, it's a 14 millimeter, 28 foot-pounds. The knuckle itself, 17 millimeter, 48 foot-pounds. What else? The wheels, 19 millimeter for your tires, your rims, 5 of them. 89 foot-pounds. I use a torque stick at 90. And the inboard 17 millimeter, in order to take the entire control arm off, it's 66 foot-pounds. So, but you can check out your specs for yourself, but that's what I got, that's what I'm doing. But you don't want to tighten them to final torque until the wheels are resting on the ground. Now, with that, that's 8 inches. I don't have enough room. What I'm going to do is jack the car up, put it on the ramps, and let the weight of the car sit on the ramps. That gives me an extra, 8 inches or so of height, so I can get under there. And then I'll just drive it off the ramps. So that's what I'm going to do to finish up. It's getting dark, so I'm going to close this one out here. Hello? Hey, me? Me calling me? I forgot to tell them about the Subaru nuts on the bottom. Okay, thanks for calling me, thank me for calling me to remind me to tell them. That's some matrix stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. I just picked up the John Deere free project mower thing. Yeah. But that's gonna be a long time down the road. Yeah. Oh, it runs. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. That's me interrupting me to tell you that I forgot something. On the Subaru rear struts that I did for Sharon, which is this video, because I got to input it in there, the bottom nuts, Subaru wants those are one-time use nuts because they have a locking taper on them. So once you tighten them up, that's it. That's a one-time use. However, I reused mine and I did it by use of blue Loctite. So you can reuse them if you use some Loctite or equivalent, whatever you have in your country. So that's what I did, but you can also just go to your Subaru dealer and buy a new knuckle bolt nut. You don't have to replace the bolts, it's just the nuts themselves. There you go. So I let you know, that way if you're doing it yourself, you got that information. Okay, now back to the closing. But I'm gonna, like I said, torque everything to spec, and then I have to put all of the stuff back in the trunk area, and that's, you know, self-explanatory. You can do that, very simple. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna close this one out. I wanna thank y'all for watching. Come back again. It's gonna be on the Subaru series playlist. So if you got a Subaru and you need to change your rear shocks, that's how you do it. It's not that bad, but it is a little finicky. Oh, and I did use, when for the control arm, the inboard side, I put that bolt first. Then I worked my way out. I put the shock, I put the sway bar control, well, sway bar first, then the shock, and then the last bolt to put on is for the knuckle. Now I used my ratchet strap to pull the control arm forward, because that's what I needed to do. And then I used my jack with a little block of wood underneath the control arm to push it up. And the rest I can wiggle by hand and got it in place, and it was not that bad. It was just such close quarters working down there. When you're not on the lift, it's hard to get the camera underneath. So yeah, but you can figure it out. If you can get it off, you can get it back on. So, all right, that's it for now. I'm gonna close up and try to finish this because, yep, the sun's went down and I got about 20 more minutes of twilight. So, all right, y'all have a good time and enjoy your Subarus.